Who are the losers, and have they been neglected for too long when it comes to, of course, the losers of globalization?
I really believe that the majority of humanity are losers. I see CEOs of the biggest corporations like Exxon, not big enough, you have to merge with Mobil. We're in a rat race where you have to get bigger and bigger and faster if you want to survive. And sadly, this is because of the pressure to deregulate global finance and global trade through trade treaties. I don't believe that most people pushing in this direction understand that this is a rat race that punishes, as I say, even the top CEOs. Insecurity, fear, are we going to stay on top or not? So everyone is suffering, I believe, and in the poor countries, I mean in India and China, we're seeing an obscene divide between rich and poor. The statistics that we get from the dominant institutions are interpreting phenomena differently. One of the things we have to do is to recognize that with mass urbanization, we are missing the truth that many people who were living in the village, dependent on each other, on human-scale institutions, dependent on land and water, on resources, on animals that they knew and that they managed, had perhaps zero income. So they, in the statistical analysis, were the poorest of the poor. This is why a country like Bhutan, where I have worked over a long period, is considered one of the poorest countries in the world. Please join me in coming to Bhutan, and you will see that it is not one of the poorest countries. I just want to say it's a consequence of a completely unnatural and unfair economy with hidden subsidies and supports for global trade. Generally speaking, around the world, food from thousands of miles away costs less than local food from a few miles away. How can it be that butter from New Zealand is cheaper in England than butter from the farm down the road? At first, if you only look at it in one country, you think, oh, some kind of efficiency on the other side of the world. When you study it globally, as I have, and you found a general pattern, and I'm talking about a general pattern coming from a generalized global economic system, where not only food from further away, but as you say, full of chemicals, full of plastics, cost less. This is what we need to reverse, but we'll only do it by looking at the bigger picture.
Helena.
I would say use that leadership to bring in the teeth that we need to protect jobs and to protect the environment. And it has to happen rapidly. It means re-examining the trade treaties, renegotiating treaties to establish those teeth, and to ensure that investments, subsidies, taxes all help to support small and medium-sized businesses, and in doing so, protect meaningful livelihoods and look at what is it that human beings thrive on. Let's look at what does human well-being look like. Absolute priority is also to understand the loss of biodiversity. Where is it coming from? We are facing extinction, not just because of climate, but because of ecocide. So we need an urgent reassessment to establish those measures that will protect life, not technology, energy, and money.